Welcome in, everyone, to our latest explainer video. I'm David Hookstead, host of American Joyride, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Outkick.com. Wherever you want to find your podcast, you can find American Joyride. We've been doing a series of explainer videos. They've had great success. One of the things people are always asking, because we've done a ton of stuff about Delta Force, is can we get some explainer videos about SEAL Team 6? Everyone accuses me of favoring the Delta Force over SEAL Team 6. That is simply 100% not the case. I have great respect for both units. So today, by popular demand, we are going to do an explainer right on the heels of the Delta Force explainer. We are going to do a SEAL Team 6 explainer. I cannot wait to get into this with all of you. So what do these explainer videos do? Pretty much, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about whatever unit it is that's not classified information. It's open source. It comes from interviews. And then you guys are going to have the best information available. That's what we're going to do with SEAL Team 6. So SEAL Team 6, also known as DEVGRU, was founded decades and decades ago and takes the best operators from the SEAL teams. Now, publicly, it is known as SEAL Team 6, essentially ever since the Bin Laden raid. It has been in a bunch of different operations, which we're going to get into in this video. But within the Navy, it is referred to as DEVGRU or Development Group. Guys on 6, many of them don't like to even say they're on SEAL Team 6. I've interviewed some of them. They prefer to be referred to as just former members of DEVGRU or former members of Development Group. Now, what does it take to be a member of SEAL Team 6, and how does this differ maybe from Delta Force? It's very simple. SEAL Team 6 requires you to be, you guessed it, a Navy SEAL. Virtually everyone on SEAL Team 6 came right from the vanilla SEAL teams, which are all SEAL teams other than DEVGRU. So that's SEAL Team 2, SEAL Team 7, SEAL Team 8, SEAL Team 10, whatever it might be. That's the pool they recruit from. So you first have to go to BUDS. You have to get through BUDS. You have to become a Navy SEAL. You have to have time in the regular vanilla teams. And then you can go to what's called Green Team, which is essentially their version of selection and assessment for SEAL Team 6. While the pass rates for this are classified and nobody knows the exact percentage of people who get into SEAL Team 6, it's believed to be about 50% of people that attempt to screen for it from the regular SEAL teams get in. Compare and contrast this with Delta Force, which has a pass percentage rate that is significantly lower, often in the single digits. Why is that? The answer for that is very simple. The SEAL Team 6 candidate pool is much smaller because, as we just talked about, you got to be a Navy SEAL to even attempt it, right? Delta Force, Green Berets, Rangers, bunch of those guys. There's guys from the Marines in there. There are some Navy people in there as well. But also, it's open up to virtually anyone who wants to try to get in. That means guys from Airborne have come. There's the famous story of a cook. There's a famous story of, I believe, a forklift and crane operator, guys that tried to get in. So when you have a much larger pool, in theory, your acceptance rate are going to be much slower, as to where with SEAL Team 6, you're already pulling exclusively from a tier 2 team, because that's what the Navy SEALs are. Some people might try to argue Navy SEALs are tier 1. That's just not true. Just like, Green Berets are not a tier 1 unit either. Those are tier 2 teams. So if you want to become a SEAL Team 6 member, you first got to join the Navy SEALs. You got to be successful with the Navy SEALs. Then you can attempt to screen into SEAL Team 6. What are they looking for? What do they want? They obviously want people with high IQs, physically fit, and they're looking to do a lot of the exact same stuff Delta does, but with that maritime aspect. Now, what does that mean? Their bread and butter, SEAL Team 6 bread and butter, is hostage rescue and direct action raids, just like the Delta counterparts at the Army. The difference is SEAL Team 6, by the very nature of its background and it being a Navy unit, has a maritime aspect that they take great pride in. They are the people that do the water missions. Now, the Army does have a dive school. I believe it's public knowledge where it is. If not, my apologies. I'm out of abundance of caution. I'm not going to say where it is. They have a dive school. Delta Force absolutely has the capability to do water maritime activities, but that's not their bread and butter. That's not what Delta was designed to do. That's not what Delta was set up to do. SEAL Team 6, that is exclusively what they were set up to do. And that's why you often hear about stories. If it goes down in the water, it's the Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6. The greatest example of this, of course, is the Captain Phillips raid, where the Alabama Maersk, I believe it was called, was taken control by Somali pirates. SEAL Team 6 was dispatched to do it. So if you get through Green Team, you are now a SEAL Team 6 operator. just like Delta Force, they have 4 assault squadrons. Those squadrons would be silver, gold, blue, and red. Red being the most famous of them. Red was the squadron that obviously did the Osama bin Laden raid. As I said before, and I will say again, simply being the most famous squadron does not mean you're the best squadron, doesn't mean you're any more talented than the other squadrons. Red was selected, I believe 23 or 24 assaulters and snipers were tasked with getting Osama bin Laden in, where was it? Abbottabad, Pakistan, obviously in 2011. However, every squadron has done their incredible stuff. Blue, gold, silver, they've all done it. And there's many missions SEAL Team 6 has done that are incredibly notable. The rescue of Jessica Buchanan in Africa, one of the most famous missions SEAL Team 6 has ever done. I would encourage you all to read up on that. We will do a video on that, I believe, a full explainer on Jessica Buchanan. So what do you want to do if you're on SEAL Team 6? Number one, you got to be a great shooter. You got to be great at CQB, just like their Delta counterparts, because you're going to be required to do things at close range. You're going to be required to shoot people at close range, determine who's a bad guy, who's a good guy, who's a friendly, who's a foe, who's a dangerous person, who's an innocent person, and you got to make those just like the Army counterpart. Those decisions got to fly. You cannot hesitate. If you hesitate, people get killed. So how badass is SEAL Team 6? The answer to that is incredibly badass. These are the tip of the spear warriors that we have in the U.S. They've got great snipers. They've got great recce guys. They've got great assault guys. They have a intel apparatus within DEVGRU, which is based out of Virginia Beach. In my interview with Chili Palmer, you heard him talk about how the SEALs live better because they live in Virginia Beach, and the Delta guys obviously live in North Carolina, which isn't nearly as nice as being on the beach. Navy SEALs, there's this rivalry between Delta and SEAL Team 6, and we can get into that. We can certainly get into that later and do a full breakdown on that. The important thing to keep here in mind is Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6 guys are every bit as good in terms of overall capabilities for the most part as any Tier 1 unit. You're going to find that they're either the first or the second best direct action unit in the world. If you ask the Navy guys, they're going to tell you they're the best. Yes, the Army guys are going to tell you Delta's the best. But these guys are capable of parachuting in. They're capable of sneaking in. They're capable of doing hostage rescue. They're capable of carrying out direct action hits in a situation like Pakistan. Oftentimes, they will land far off the target. They will sneak in the middle of the night. The bad guys have no idea they're even there. And by the time they figure it out, it's too late. SEAL Team 6, very much so, keeps our enemies awake at night. They're terrified of what they call the men with green eyes, which they also use for the Army counterparts as well. These are the hardest, smartest, best trained people in the world. It doesn't matter if you're in a boat in the ocean or you're in a house in Pakistan where you think you're hiding from the world. If SEAL Team 6 gets tasked with hunting you down and finding you, it's not a matter of if they get you. It is only a matter of when they get you. All right. That's just the fact of the matter. And I know the Army guys and the Navy guys are going to debate in the comments who's better, this, that, or the next thing. That's for you guys to debate. But I will tell you this. Everybody I know from the SEAL Team 6 community and from the Army Special Mission Unit community all agree the two best units in the world by far for direct action raids, Delta, SEAL Team 6. And this will blow your mind, they work together a lot. There's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of crossover training. They pick up different tips and tricks, things of that nature. So SEAL Team 6, if they're not the best, they are the number 2 team. If Delta's not the best, it is the number 2 team. Now, I've made my opinion on that clear many, many times. We are going to do a complete breakdown and difference video at some point here in the future. But overall, SEAL Team 6 is capable at this point of doing virtually anything Delta does with that maritime aspect. Now, I will say this. I did an interview with a guy about 2 years ago, and the early attempt to integrate SEAL Team 6, according to him, into Delta units when CAG needed to be augmented because they'd lost a lot of guys in Iraq, did not go well. There were problems with the way SEALs did CQB. There were just simply problems with the way that they integrated into those Delta teams. And that, to my understanding, is no longer the case. And SEAL Team 6 guys can hop right in, with Delta guys. They stay up. They're gunfighters. They're natural born warriors. They're the toughest of the tough. They do lean in a little bit more to the stereotypes. Big beards, tattoos everywhere. You obviously see a lot of tatted Delta guys, but they look more like accountants. SEAL Team 6 look like guys that are going to a bar fight and ruin your night. I don't say that as an insult. I say that as a compliment. I don't want any problems with those guys. And if you're a terrorist or a bad guy, I'd also recommend you don't want any problems with those guys because they don't play games. So in closing, SEAL Team 6, I got nothing but the best respect. And, you know, if you want to do that, got to become a Navy SEAL, got to go through Green Team, got to become a SEAL Team 6 operator. And at that point, you'll get to do things all over the world that the public most of the time won't even know about, but you'll get to go toe-to-toe with the enemy, and you'll know what you're doing is keeping the American public safe. And I have all the gratitude in the world. I do have a really cool interview coming up with a former SEAL Team 6 operator. I'm not going to spoil it yet. You're going to be able to see that in the very, very near future. We break down a whole bunch of different stuff. But man, I love the SEAL Team 6 guys. But what I want you to do, those of you watching this video, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on SEAL Team 6 is. And let me know if you think SEAL Team 6 or Delta Force is the better team. I'm going to repeat that. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on SEAL Team 6 and if you think SEAL Team 6 or Delta Force is the better team. Other than that, make sure to like, subscribe, rate the video, give us the thumbs up. That's what gets us the ability to bring these videos to you. And make sure to catch every episode of American Joyride wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll see you next time.